The World Cup has produced some of the greatest moments in the history of football. But what are the biggest shocks of the past 20 years? Football fans come together every 4 years, hoping to see some of the greatest players of all time. With Ronaldinho, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo wowing viewers across the globe in the 21st century. Sometimes, it isn't these big-time players that have the biggest impact on a game, as there is always the opportunity for some underdogs to stamp their authority at the biggest tournament in world football. Here are our picks for the top 5 biggest World Cup shocks of the past 20 years, looking at the tournaments from Brazil, Japan and more. 1. Switzerland defeats Spain 1-0 at the 2010 FIFA World Cup. Between 2008 and 2012, Spain would have international campaigns to remember after winning back-to-back tournaments, with 2 Euros wins and 1 World Cup win. However, during their historic 2010 World Cup campaign, they received a shock to the system from Switzerland. Switzerland would hand the European champions their first defeat in almost 4 years, courtesy of a goal from Gelson Fernandes, which saw the underdog Switzerland pull off a 1-0 masterclass. Spain would bounce back from this and go all the way to the final to defeat the Netherlands 1-0, courtesy of a sublime finish from Barcelona playmaker Andres Iniesta, which saw them make history and win their first ever World Cup. 2. Netherlands defeat Spain 5-1 at the FIFA World Cup 2014. Back to 2014, the opening match of Group B in the 2014 World Cup saw a rematch of the 2010 World Cup final between Spain and the Netherlands. Spain would be the victors in their last meeting, courtesy of a goal from Andres Iniesta that saw them lift their first ever World Cup trophy. Spain took the lead in the first half, after Xabi Alonso converted a penalty. However, the Netherlands would equalize just before halftime from a spectacular header from Robin van Persie. This goal would ignite a fire in this relentless Netherlands side, as they would put another 4 goals past Spain in the second half, with Van Persie grabbing a second and Arjen Robben scoring 2 goals. It would end up being the first time Spain had conceded more than 2 goals in more than one game since the USA World Cup in 1994. 3. Germany defeat Brazil 7-1 at the 2014 FIFA World Cup. The 2014 World Cup featured a plethora of shocking moments, with an honorable mention being England getting knocked out of the group stages for the first time since 1958. When Germany and Brazil met in the semi-finals, bookies and fans anticipated that Brazil would be victorious, due to the competition being on home soil. This turned out not to be the case, as Brazil would be decimated by Germany 7-1. 4. Senegal defeated France 1-0 at the FIFA World Cup 2002. Going into the 2002 World Cup, France on paper were favorite for the tournament, especially with the group they were drawn and the caliber of players they had in their squad. With the likes of Zinedine Zidane, Thierry Henry, David Trezeguet and more, the French team seemed destined for World Cup success. The opening game saw France take on Senegal, but the 1998 winners were hit with a huge blow after Zidane was pulled from the game due to an injury. The game was dominated by Senegalese forward El Hadji Diouf, who ran the French defense ragged. Senegal would shock the world in the 30th minute, as Pape Bouba Diop would score the decisive goal that would hand France their first defeat of the tournament. 5. South Korea defeating Italy 2-1 at the FIFA World Cup 2002. The 2002 FIFA World Cup saw one of the greatest yet controversial World Cup runs from an unknown South Korean team, led by Guus Hiddink. After finishing top of their group against the likes of Portugal, the USA and Poland, joint World Cup host South Korea, were drawn to play against Italy in the round of 16. Italy were one of the favorites going into the tournament due to their star-studded team, featuring the likes of Daniele Maldini, Alessandro Del Piero, Francesco Totti, and Fabio Cannavaro, to name a few. The match was refereed by Ecuadorian referee Byron Moreno, and throughout the game, the officiating seemed incredibly biased in favor of the South Koreans. Frustrations grew for the Italians as the aggressive hard tackling from the South Koreans was not penalized once. Even though Zambrano was hit with a double-footed challenge, Del Piero was elbowed in the face, and Francesco Totti was fouled in the box, which led to him arguing and being sent off for simulation. However, the score speaks for itself and sent shockwaves through the tournament, after a goal from An Young-won saw the Azeri knocked